the last review I have to make before I go see The Rise of Skywalker, which I'm literally going to go over to a friend's house, pick him up, then we're going to come back here, and then we're going to go to eat, and then we're going to go to the theater and watch Rise of Skywalker. So, yeah, I'm kind of busy at the moment, so let's get this review done. I've hated The Last Jedi. And on this rewatch, I didn't hate it so much. There are a lot of problems here. And this is still not a good movie. None of the movies, honestly, under the Disney era of movies, have actually really been good movies. They've been okay. They've been bad. They've been this movie. Where do I even begin? First of all, The Last Jedi takes everything good about The Force Awakens and destroys it. Poe. This character that could have potential. Well, guess what? He's just a dumb flyboy who's an idiot and likes to blow crap up. And he has a dumb subplot with this character who won't tell him the plan. And this subplot is ridiculously stupid because she knows that he is trouble and still refuses to tell him the freaking plan. She's a terrible person, and I'm actually glad she died in the movie because that way we never have to see her again. It's a great, beautifully shot scene. It's beautiful with how the sound cuts out and you hear poof, and that scene, phenomenal. But I don't care that this character died. Finn is horrible in this movie. This interesting storyline about him straying from the Empire means nothing now. He just goes off on a love quest with a stupid character that ties into Poe's plot a little bit, but mostly is useless. And they save some animals who are being taken care of by slave children. Yeah, let's save the slave animals, but not the slave children. This whole subplot bogs down the whole movie. And stupid. Kelly Marie Tran does a terrible job acting as that character. She doesn't do anything the whole movie. She says terrible lines of dialogue. She gives about the same level of dialogue as like Anakin Skywalker in the prequels through the majority of this movie. She's terrible. That whole scene where Finn's about to blow himself up would have been sweet scene if he had done that. Because it would complete his arc. You starts out this character who's running, and then by the end of the movie, he sacrifices himself to save his friends. Great. Done. But nope. Bam! Rose has to come in there and give him a kiss, and it's just this disgusting, stupid line, and it makes no sense. Kylo in this movie is actually really good and very interesting. Some people are bothered by Luke. I understand where they're coming from. But on further rewatches, there's lines and nuances that you can kind of pick up through Mark Hamill's performance, which is fantastic. And some of the lines of dialogue he says, there's something there. I think had they done more to further explain why he become this way, like maybe a movie at the beginning of this trilogy before The Force Awakens that set up where all the characters were going to be at before The Force Awakens come out, that would have been better, and maybe people would not have taken to this so harshly. Rian Johnson really didn't ruin Luke Skywalker. Yes, I understand where people's coming from. He is a little bit off character, but not too much. And I like Kylo. Rey in this movie is kind of dumb. She doesn't change at all. She has this weird scene with like a mirror and like reflections, and it's like snapping, and it's like, what is this? Like, they tell her parents are nobody. Snoke dies. All these interesting plot points from The Force Awakens kind of just dropped off. This movie really doesn't continue the story except for having Luke Skywalker die. So really, you should never watch this movie, honestly. There is nothing here. I mean, from what I've heard from people who actually have seen The Rise of Skywalker, yeah, this movie doesn't matter. This movie really does not matter, and you should never watch it. It's a terrible movie. With some good scenes, some interesting ideas, but none of them are well explored or well executed. They're just meant to subvert your expectations of what you think is going to happen. But they're not going to give you something better than that. They're going to give you something much worse. Luke Skywalker's arc is interesting, but it doesn't do anything to progress the trilogy story. I don't know why this movie was made the way it was, some of the choices that were made, but it's not a good movie, and I never recommend someone watching this movie. I would rather people watch the prequels over this movie, and I'm dead serious. Because at least with the prequels, you understand why a lot of the problems went down with those movies. I don't understand why a movie with this much money put into it, with this much good actors and director and writers and things like that, and then it turned out to be this. I mean, this is astronomically bad. This isn't like a poorly made film. The music is 10 out of 10 phenomenal. The cinematography, editing, and effects are phenomenal. But you know, a lot of people don't like the pacing. I love the pacing in this. I think the pacing is excellent because it moves really quick. The problem with people say they don't like the pacing is some of these subplots don't need to be in there and they bog the movie down. But that's just because what's in the subplot. It's not that the movie is way too long. It's that the subplots could have been fixed up a little bit more to make them more interesting and work better within the movie. Or there's some subplots that could have been entirely deleted just because of what they contribute to the story. It's not like those subplots are poorly paced. It's just that they didn't need to be there. So, yeah. Rise of Skywalker, please be good. Please be good. Please be good.